Dear brothers and sisters, today I want to speak directly to the heart, the part of you that feels tired, broken, or forgotten. Life can sometimes feel like a heavy burden. We endure disappointments, face trials, and watch as our dreams seem delayed or even shattered. But let me remind you, Allah is closer than the whisper in your heart. He knows your pain. He sees your tears. He feels your struggles even before you utter a word. The Quran says, "Do not despair of the mercy of Allah. Indeed, Allah forgives all sins. Indeed, it is He who is the forgiving, the merciful." This is not just a promise. It is a lifeline for anyone whose heart feels weary. Sometimes we look at our lives and see only darkness. Perhaps it is a loss that has shaken you, a relationship that has ended, a dream that remains unfulfilled. You ask, why Allah? Why now? But understand this, every tear you shed, every moment of loneliness is known to Allah, and He has placed it perfectly in your life's mosaic. Like a master artist, He is arranging the pieces so that when the time is right, the full picture of your blessings will be revealed. Imagine a barren tree in winter. Its branches bare, lifeless and cold. To the eye, it seems hopeless. Yet beneath the surface, life is stirring, roots are drinking, and in its perfect time, the tree will bloom more beautifully than ever before. This is the wisdom of Allah in timing. Patience is not merely waiting. Sabr is active trust in Allah. It is submitting your heart completely to Him, even when your soul is screaming for relief. Consider Prophet Ayyub, who endured unimaginable suffering, losing wealth, health, and family. Yet, he never lost faith. He prayed, "Indeed, adversity has touched me, and you are the most merciful of the merciful." Allah's response was not delayed. In due time, He restored Prophet Ayyub and multiplied his blessings. This is a clear lesson. Surrendering to Allah does not mean passivity. It is choosing to place every worry, every heartbreak in His hands, confident that He knows the unseen and the outcome better than we ever could. And Allah does not delay without wisdom. Sometimes what we perceive as obstacles are actually signs of protection, guidance, or preparation. A door may close not to punish you, but to save you from harm you cannot yet see. Perhaps a job opportunity falls through, a relationship ends, or a dream does not materialize. In those very moments, Allah is at work, paving the way for something far greater. Consider the story of Prophet Yusuf, betrayed by his own brothers, imprisoned unjustly, and tested repeatedly. He could not see the purpose of his suffering. Yet, each trial was preparing him to rise to a position of honor, wisdom, and leadership beyond his imagination. What appeared to be hardship was, in fact, divine preparation. So, I call upon you today to lift your gaze from your trials and look to Allah with renewed hope. Trust Him. Lean on Him. Prepare yourself for the blessings that are waiting just beyond the horizon. Your heart may be heavy now, but the day will come when your tears will turn into joy, your struggle into strength, and your patience into profound peace. Do not rush Allah's plan and do not despair. He is the best of planners. He knows the depth of your heart better than anyone. He knows the perfect timing, the perfect place, and the perfect people that will bring your dreams to fruition. Let your heart be like clay in the hands of the potter, malleable, soft, and ready for shaping. Let your soul rise in gratitude and trust, knowing that every trial is temporary, every pain is counted, and every prayer is heard. Allah is sending signs in ways you might not recognize yet. The whisper of guidance in a conversation, the feeling of peace in a moment of despair, the door that opens when you least expect it. All these are His reminders that He has not forgotten you and He never will. Hold on, dear brothers and sisters. Heal your heart by surrendering it fully to Allah. Embrace the moments of struggle as preparation for the greatest blessings yet to come. Let your trust be unwavering, your patience steadfast, and your hope unshakable. Allah knows your pain. He sees your tears. And He is already preparing a beautiful reward for the heart that turns to Him in honesty, humility, and hope. Every heart carries a story, a hidden weight that often no one else can see. We all experience moments when the world feels unbearably heavy, when sorrow seems to settle permanently on our shoulders, and when our own strength feels sufficient to carry the burdens placed upon us. Perhaps it is the loss of a loved one, the ending of a relationship that we held dear, a dream that has slipped through our fingers, or the ongoing struggle of feeling unseen, unheard, or misunderstood. These moments can leave us questioning, doubting, and wondering if anyone, even Allah, truly understands the depth of our pain. Yet the most comforting truth we must remind ourselves of is that Allah sees every tear that falls from our eyes, every sigh that escapes our chest, and every heartbreak that pulses silently within our souls. He does not turn away from our suffering, nor does He leave us to navigate our struggles alone. The Quran reassures us in the most tender way, and we will surely test you with something of fear and hunger and a loss of wealth and lives and fruits, but give good tidings to the patient. Every trial, every challenge, every moment of pain is known to Him, and every tear you shed is counted in a way that only the most merciful could understand. It is human to grieve, to feel sadness, to experience disappointment, and to question life's purpose when hardship strikes. Our hearts are not machines, they are living, breathing vessels capable of profound emotion, and at times that depth of feeling can overwhelm us. But it is in this very recognition, acknowledging that our pain is real and that it is valid, that we begin the process of healing. Too often, people try to hide their struggles, putting on a mask of strength or pretending that nothing is wrong. But Allah reminds us that it is perfectly acceptable to acknowledge our pain before Him, to cry when we need to cry, and to speak our anguish to the One who created us. Just as a child runs to their parent when frightened or hurt, we are invited to bring our brokenness to Allah, knowing that He is always present, always listening, and infinitely compassionate. Real life experiences provide vivid examples of this truth. Consider someone who has devoted years to a dream that remains unfulfilled, someone who has faced betrayal from friends or family, or a person enduring illness or financial hardship. On the surface, it may seem as though they are alone, abandoned, or overlooked, yet behind the scenes, Allah's knowledge encompasses their situation entirely. He knows the nights spent awake in worry, the moments of quiet despair, and the silent prayers whispered in the heart. This divine awareness is a source of comfort because it assures us that our pain is never meaningless, our struggle is never unnoticed, and our hardship is never ignored. Just as a gardener tends to seedlings beneath the soil long before they emerge into the sunlight, Allah nurtures our hearts and our circumstances even when we cannot see immediate results. Sometimes, our pain teaches us profound lessons that would otherwise remain hidden. Heartache can awaken empathy, loss can cultivate resilience, and failure can reveal new pathways that we had never imagined. Consider a person who loses a job they loved. The initial shock, the anxiety, and the frustration are palpable, yet often that loss is what guides them to a greater opportunity, a career aligned with their true purpose, or a path that brings more fulfillment and stability than they had previously envisioned. Pain can sharpen the soul, illuminate weaknesses we did not know existed, and push us to grow spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. These are subtle blessings disguised as trials, and recognizing them requires a heart that is attuned to Allah's presence. Even in the darkest moments, the beauty of acknowledging our struggle is that it fosters a deeper, more intimate relationship with Allah. When we are broken, we are often most sincere in our supplications, most honest in our reflections, and most attentive to the subtle signs of His mercy. The Prophet Muhammad himself experienced immense personal hardship, losing loved ones, facing betrayal, enduring persecution, and yet his connection to Allah never wavered. His life demonstrates that acknowledging pain, rather than suppressing it, opens the door to profound spiritual growth, increased faith, and a heart that is soft, receptive, and attuned to divine guidance. Our hearts are not meant to carry their burdens alone, and our pain is not meant to go unnoticed. Allah knows every moment of struggle, every pang of loneliness, and every sense of despair. It is in this recognition that we find the first seeds of hope. By allowing ourselves to feel our pain honestly, by turning to Allah in our moments of weakness, and by understanding that suffering does not equal abandonment, we position ourselves for healing, transformation, and eventual relief. Every tear we shed is not wasted. Every sigh we release is not ignored. Allah sees, Allah understands, and Allah cares deeply about the inner workings of our hearts. Life often confronts us with moments that seem confusing, unfair, or untimely. We make plans, we set goals, we envision the paths our lives should take, and yet so often, what unfolds is entirely different from what we expected. Perhaps you have experienced a delay in something you desperately wanted, a job opportunity that slipped away, a marriage proposal that never materialized, a project that fell apart despite your best efforts, or a dream that remained just beyond reach. These moments of waiting and postponement can feel unbearable, like standing in a storm without shelter. But it is precisely in these pauses, these periods of uncertainty, that Allah's wisdom is most active. Even if it remains hidden from our eyes, the Quran reminds us, and it may be that you dislike a thing while it is good for you, and it may be that you love a thing while it is bad for you. Allah knows and you do not know. This verse is a profound reminder that what we perceive as a delay, a disappointment, or a detour is often an act of divine wisdom designed to guide us toward what is truly best. Timing is a divine art. Allah does not act hastily, and His plans are never rushed. Every delay has a purpose, every postponement carries a lesson, and every closed door shields us from what is harmful or unfit for our journey. Imagine a farmer planting seeds in a field. He knows the precise moment to sow, to water, and to harvest. If he were to rush the process, the seeds might not grow, the crops might fail, and all his labor could be wasted. Similarly, Allah cultivates the circumstances of our lives with infinite precision. He delays what is not yet ready, protects us from what could harm us, and orchestrates opportunities at the exact moment when we are prepared to receive them. What may appear as procrastination or oversight is in fact meticulous planning by the best of planners. Real life examples of this wisdom are all around us. Consider a student who applies to a university and is initially rejected. The disappointment feels crushing. The future seems uncertain. Yet years later, that very student may find themselves at a different institution, one that not only provides superior education, but also connects them with mentors, peers, and experiences that shape their success in ways the first opportunity never could. Or think of a person whose marriage proposal is delayed repeatedly, only to discover later that the person they were meant to marry was delayed for reasons of timing beyond their comprehension, perhaps for personal growth, maturity, or circumstances that would have made the union difficult earlier. These are not coincidences. These are signs of Allah's meticulous timing, His ability to coordinate life's events in ways that we cannot always perceive, yet which ultimately serve our highest good. Allah's timing also teaches us patience and humility. When we face delays, our natural tendency is to become anxious, frustrated, or even resentful. We compare our journey to others, feeling as though our blessings are being withheld. Yet these very moments of waiting are opportunities to cultivate inner strength, reliance on Allah, and trust in His wisdom. They allow us to slow down, reflect, and prepare ourselves spiritually, emotionally, and mentally for the blessings that are about to arrive. It is often in the quiet periods, the unseen struggles, and the waiting rooms of life that our character is refined, our faith deepened, and our hearts aligned with the divine purpose. The stories of the prophets exemplify this principle vividly. Prophet Yusuf endured years of betrayal, imprisonment, and separation from his family. Each delay, each moment of injustice was part of Allah's precise plan to place him in the position where he could ultimately save nations from famine and rise to the highest levels of honor and influence. If his path had been swift, if his dreams had been fulfilled immediately, the wisdom, experience, and maturity he gained through waiting would have been absent. The delay was not a denial, it was divine preparation, ensuring that when the moment of fulfillment arrived, he was ready to embrace it fully. Similarly, in our own lives, waiting is not punishment. It is a signal that Allah is actively orchestrating our journey, shaping circumstances behind the scenes that will reveal themselves at the perfect moment. The key is to remain vigilant, attentive to the signs, and patient in our hearts. Often blessings are delayed because we are not yet ready to receive them. We might lack the emotional resilience, spiritual clarity, or wisdom necessary to handle the responsibility or magnitude of what is coming. Allah's delay is an act of mercy, a protective measure that ensures our blessings arrive at the most opportune time, when they will truly benefit us and bring us lasting joy and fulfillment. Even in the smallest events, this wisdom is present. A delayed meeting, a postponed trip, a sudden change in plans, these are not meaningless disruptions. They are divine recalibrations, subtle signs that guide us, protect us, and prepare us for what is ahead. If we attune our hearts to this reality, we begin to see the pattern, the invisible hand of Allah at work, weaving our struggles and delays into a tapestry of divine precision. We learn to release the need for immediate gratification, to embrace patience as an act of worship, and to trust that the unfolding of our lives is in the hands of the most wise, the most knowing, the most merciful. Patience and surrender are two of the most powerful tools a believer can cultivate in the journey of life. When we face hardships, setbacks, or uncertainty, it is natural for the heart to feel restless, for the mind to question, and for the soul to yearn for immediate relief. Yet it is precisely in these moments, when life tests our resilience, that patience, or sabr, becomes the anchor that keeps our hearts steady and our faith strong. Patience is not merely a passive act of waiting. It is an active engagement of the heart and mind in trust, perseverance, and steadfastness. It is the conscious decision to rely on Allah, to maintain hope, and to persist in doing good, even when the world seems to conspire against us or when our efforts appear fruitless. The Quran reminds us, indeed, Allah is with the patient, assuring us that patience is not only a personal virtue, but a direct pathway to divine support, guidance, and companionship in every difficulty we endure. Surrender or tawakkul complements patience. While patience is the steady hand on the wheel of our journey, surrender is the act of letting Allah guide the path itself. It is recognizing that while we may plan, strive, and work diligently, the ultimate outcome rests with Allah, who knows the unseen, the hidden, and the future in ways far beyond our comprehension. Surrender does not mean giving up effort. Rather, it means releasing attachment to a particular outcome and trusting that Allah's plan is infinitely wiser than our own. Consider a traveler who sets out on a journey, carrying a map and making preparations. Surrender does not mean abandoning the map or the planning. It means trusting that Allah, who knows the terrain better than anyone, may redirect the path for the traveler's ultimate benefit, perhaps showing shortcuts, avoiding dangers, or leading to destinations far more beautiful than imagined. In life, our struggles, delays, and obstacles are part of a similar divine redirection, teaching us to rely on Allah while actively engaging in our responsibilities and duties. The examples from the lives of the prophets provide the clearest illustration of patience and surrender in practice. Prophet Ayyub endured unimaginable suffering, losing his health, wealth, and family, yet he never wavered in his devotion to Allah. Even in the depths of despair, he prayed with sincerity, saying, "Indeed, adversity has touched me, and you are the most merciful of the merciful." His patience was not passive, it was active, resilient, and grounded in trust. It was through this combination of patience and surrender that his suffering transformed into a profound elevation, as Allah restored his health, multiplied his blessings, and honored him beyond what he could have envisioned. Similarly, the Prophet Muhammad faced persecution, loss, and betrayal, yet his life exemplifies the power of enduring patiently while fully surrendering to Allah's will, trusting that every challenge contained a purpose and every difficulty a divine lesson. In our own lives, the practice of patience and surrender manifests in both subtle and profound ways. Waiting for a life-changing opportunity, enduring a relationship's challenges, recovering from loss, or navigating financial and health struggles. Each instance becomes a chance to cultivate resilience, trust, and spiritual depth. Patience allows the heart to remain steady amidst uncertainty, preventing despair from taking root, while surrender transforms anxiety into a quiet confidence that Allah is orchestrating every detail of our lives for our ultimate benefit. The combination of these virtues creates a heart that is malleable, soft, and attuned to divine guidance, capable of recognizing subtle blessings. Even in moments of hardship, there is a unique beauty in the inner peace that emerges from patience and surrender. When the heart stops fighting what cannot be controlled, when it releases attachment to immediate outcomes, and when it rests in the knowledge that Allah is fully aware of every circumstance, true tranquility emerges. This does not mean that challenges disappear or that trials cease to test us. Rather, it means that we develop the capacity to face them with grace, resilience, and unwavering trust. A student waiting for exam results, a person hoping for reconciliation in a relationship, or someone striving for financial stability may still feel anxious and uncertain. Yet patience and surrender allow them to navigate these moments with composure, clarity, and faith. The most profound aspect of patience and surrender is that they are not merely defensive tools against hardship. They are transformative instruments. They shape character, strengthen the soul, and align our desires with the divine will. Through patience, the believer learns humility, endurance, and reliance on Allah. Through surrender, the believer learns trust, gratitude, and recognition of the wisdom behind life's unfolding events. Together, these qualities prepare the heart to receive blessings that may otherwise be squandered if approached with impatience, frustration, or self-centered expectation. They teach us that the process of waiting is not wasted, the trials we endure are not meaningless, and the uncertainties we face are not signs of abandonment, but rather invitations to draw closer to Allah and refine the very essence of our being. Patience and surrender are interwoven threads in the tapestry of a believer's life. They create a foundation of trust, resilience, and spiritual maturity, allowing the heart to withstand hardship, the mind to remain clear amidst confusion, and the soul to find solace in divine wisdom. When embraced sincerely, they become sources of immense strength, inner peace, and clarity, enabling the believer to navigate life's complexities with grace, courage, and unwavering faith. Life often presents itself as a series of puzzles, challenges, and unexpected turns, leaving us to question why certain events unfold the way they do. What appears to be a setback or a misfortune may, in fact, conceal blessings that are hidden from our immediate perception. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, often hides gifts within trials, opportunities within obstacles, and guidance within confusion. The Quran beautifully illustrates this concept, saying, "Perhaps you hate a thing and it is good for you, and perhaps you love a thing and it is bad for you. And Allah knows while you know not." The challenge lies in recognizing these subtle signs and blessings, which often require a heart attuned to faith, patience, and reflection. Life is not always as it appears, and the moments that feel like failure or loss may ultimately become the stepping stones to our greatest achievements and personal growth. Consider the life of Prophet Yusuf. Betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, and imprisoned unjustly, he endured years of hardship that must have seemed insurmountable at the time. Yet every trial contained a hidden blessing. Each delay, each obstacle, and each painful moment was preparing him for a position of honor, wisdom, and influence that would allow him to save entire nations from famine. What appeared to be suffering was, in fact, divine preparation, a careful orchestration of events that ultimately led to immense success, fulfillment, and justice. His story teaches us that Allah's plan often contains blessings in disguise, and it is through faith and trust that we learn to perceive them, even when the full picture remains hidden from view. Everyday life offers countless examples of blessings hidden within apparent setbacks. Perhaps a business deal falls through, leading someone to pursue a different career path that proves far more fulfilling and prosperous. Perhaps a relationship ends only for a person to later meet someone whose presence brings deeper understanding, support, and happiness than the previous relationship ever could. Perhaps a health challenge forces someone to slow down, reflect, and adopt habits that improve their well-being and deepen their connection with Allah. These seemingly negative experiences are, in reality, opportunities to grow, redirect our path, and open our hearts to blessings that would have been impossible to receive had we not first endured the challenge. Recognizing these signs requires awareness, patience, and sensitivity to Allah's guidance. Often, blessings are not immediately obvious. They may appear as subtle coincidences, chance encounters, or unexpected delays, a stranger's advice, an unplanned detour, or a sudden change in circumstances may carry the very sign or guidance we need if only we pay attention. Allah's wisdom is precise, and He communicates with His servants through the world around them, sending reminders, guidance, and opportunities that can redirect our paths in profound ways. Those who are attentive, reflective, and patient often see these signs clearly, while those who rush, complain, or lose faith may overlook them entirely. The heart that recognizes blessings in disguise is a heart that cultivates gratitude and humility. Even in the midst of pain, disappointment, or struggle, such a heart understands that nothing occurs without purpose, that every experience contains a lesson, and that divine wisdom often operates beyond human comprehension. Gratitude for blessings that are hidden encourages resilience, strengthens faith, and nurtures hope. It allows us to face adversity with courage, to endure trials with patience, and to trust that Allah's plan is perfect, even when it does not align with our immediate desires. Sometimes, the most profound blessings come after a period of intense difficulty or loss. A person who loses everything they once valued may find themselves reconnected with family, purpose, or faith in ways they never imagined. A dream that seems shattered may create space for a new opportunity more aligned with their true calling. These hidden blessings often carry lessons that cannot be learned through comfort alone. They require endurance, reflection, and surrender to Allah's will. The key is to maintain awareness and trust, understanding that every challenge contains within it the potential for growth, insight, and ultimately divine reward. Recognizing blessings in disguise also involves shifting perspective. What initially seems like misfortune may, upon reflection, reveal itself as protection, guidance, or preparation. Perhaps an unfulfilled desire prevented a path of hardship or harm. Perhaps a delay allowed for a person to develop the skills, maturity, or insight necessary to succeed later. Perhaps a closed door protected the heart from an unsuitable opportunity. In each instance, the apparent setback contains within it a hidden sign of Allah's care, wisdom, and precision. The ability to perceive these blessings requires faith, patience, and an open heart, one that trusts that even the smallest events may carry profound significance and divine guidance. Hope is a light that flickers in the heart, even in the darkest moments of life. When we feel weighed down by trials, setbacks, or delays, it is hope that allows us to see beyond the immediate struggle and imagine a future shaped by Allah's mercy and wisdom. Renewed hope is not blind optimism. It is a conscious decision to trust in Allah's plan, to remain steadfast in patience, and to prepare ourselves for the blessings that He has already set in motion. The Quran encourages this mindset, reminding us, and whoever fears Allah, He will make for him a way out and will provide for him from where he does not expect. This verse emphasizes the connection between hope, trust, and proactive preparation. When we maintain our faith and align our hearts with Allah, doors of opportunity open, sustenance arrives, and blessings unfold in ways beyond our imagination. Preparation is a crucial component of hope. While we trust in Allah to orchestrate the perfect outcome, we must also ready ourselves spiritually, emotionally, and practically to receive the blessings He has prepared. Just as a traveler preparing for a long journey packs the necessary supplies, studies the route, and ensures readiness for obstacles, we must equip our hearts and minds to recognize and embrace the opportunities Allah is arranging for us. This preparation is not solely external. It is internal, involving self-reflection, spiritual growth, and alignment of intentions with the divine will. It is about cultivating patience, nurturing gratitude, strengthening faith, and maintaining a heart that is receptive to guidance, inspiration, and divine wisdom. Hope flourishes when we recognize the signs of Allah's presence and acknowledge the small victories along the way. Even the most subtle shifts, an unexpected kind word, a change in circumstances, an answer to a prayer that arrives quietly, can signal that Allah is working on our behalf. These moments are reminders that our journey is being guided, that our struggles are not in vain, and that our efforts, prayers, and patience are all counted and valued. By attuning ourselves to these signs, we cultivate a mindset that sees possibility rather than despair, opportunity rather than obstruction, and blessing rather than loss. Real life examples of preparation and renewed hope illustrate this beautifully. Consider someone who has endured repeated failures in their career or education. Each setback may feel like a crushing blow, yet those experiences teach resilience, adaptability, and perseverance. When the right